Okay, bucking over episode 13. We have the daily overs coming into today at 4, 6, and 2. Skid City can't catch a win. Season win totals still at 5. Very stagnant, very stale. But we're out of Milwaukee. We're into Chicago. Game 1, Pirates Cubs. Over under at 8.5. Bryce Wilson, Mark Leiter Jr. Just what a game this was. Very entertaining all the way through. Vogelback, Yoshi, Bryan Reynolds, the Pirates bullpen. They have stuff. They have swagger. There was a rally shoe. I want to say it was a rally shoe. All of that and more coming up on this episode of The Bucking Over. So this is exactly why I love baseball. You watch baseball enough, you're going to see something you haven't seen before. And I know that sounds cliche, whatever, but there's just something about it. You never know what you're going to get when you go to the ballpark. Last 3 games in Milwaukee, kind of boring, kind of snoozers, pitchers duels. Milwaukee had it handled pretty much the whole time. And we get to this game, and we'll do a little bit of a recap first, then we'll get more in depth on it. That first inning bug bit Bryan Wilson. He had 3 straight walks. He walked in a run. It was 1-0. Jonathan VR then comes up, sac fly, brings in Wilson Contreras, 2-0. So you're like, oh, great, here we go. By the way, the Pirates, this stat has been circling around, they've scored first once against the Cardinals. In the very next half inning, the Cardinals scored to tie it up. So the Pirates don't score first. If there's a bet out there that says which team will score first, always go against the Pirates, at least for the time being, until they figure something out. Of course, now that I said that, they'll score first tomorrow. But until then, take the other team. Pirates do not score first, it seems. Bottom of the second, Seiya Suzuki showed up, soft ground out. There was no chance at a double play, so they just took the out at first, and that scored Patrick Wisdom, made it 3-0 Cubs. And you're like, man, when are these bats going to wake up, these anemic bats? Luckily, Daniel Vogelback shows up, works the count, 2-run home run, 3-2. Perez was on base at the time, and when he hit that to center, it was a nice hit, maybe a little bit wind-aided, but it was a nice hit. Looked like he just flicked it right out there. Then we go ahead to the 5th inning, and like I said earlier, fight broke out. Someone lost a shoe. Shoe ended up in center field, and it could be a rally shoe because Bryan Reynolds is up to bat, and he looked at strike 3. The rally shoe was there, and then Yoshi comes up. There was 2 strikes on him, and we're all just like clenching, like, please don't look at strike 3. And what's he do? Strike 2. He hits the ball, swings the bat, slaps it the other way, goes into left field, and he scores 2. Vogelback in Hoy Park makes it 4-3. And that's all she wrote. The Pirates won. Raise the Jolly Roger. 4-3, by the way, most common outcome in baseball. If you look at the numbers, it's like the most common score. But yeah, that's all that was needed. The Pirates bullpen gave up 1 hit over the last 6 innings. They took out Bryson after 3, and you had Will Crow, lights out. David Bednar, lights out. Stratton to close it, filthy. Just, their bullpen is outstanding. If they can find some starting pitching, it's super early, but if they could find some starting pitching, they will not be in the basement of the NL Central. Write that down. Reynolds had a great heads-up triple. Earlier in the game, Hoy Park had a double against the shift, and he slid into second. Third base was wide open. Could have ran to third for a triple. But he slid, and it was kind of an awkward, and so he got a double. Reynolds saw that, had an excuse me swing, grounder by third, runs to second, doesn't slide, keeps running. No one's at third. He kept running. Got a triple on, I think it was a 49.5 mile an hour exit velocity. It was like the lowest since 2015. It was I can't decide which broadcast I like better. Do I like Greg Brown just going crazy and like overhyping the whole thing? It was a great play, but sometimes he over exaggerates a little bit, which is nice because you like to, you want to feel good. Or do I love hearing the Cubs broadcast just going, oh my God, do you believe what just happened? I hate the Cubs, so I might go with that broadcast. But that will overshadow the fact that Reynolds is now looking at strike threes. Whatever Yoshi had, Yoshi's looking at strike three. He gave it to Reynolds. Reynolds caught the cold. Yoshi's now swinging at it. Reynolds, it was the ninth inning. The ball's right down the middle. 2 strikes. 92 miles an hour, right down the middle, dead center, and he just looked at it. So, suffice to say, Reynolds is not seeing the ball very well. Hopefully, whatever slump he's in, he shaved his face to get out of the slump. He had the triple, which was nice, but it was still an excuse me swing. It wasn't like a solid hit. I don't know. Hopefully, he can figure out whatever hump he's, whatever funk he's going through, because they're going to need his bat. Ben Gamel had a nice day, 3 for 4. And Brian Hayes got the, I call it the Bryce Harper treatment. I think there was one weekend where they walked Bryce Harper, the Cubs walked Bryce Harper like 8 times or something. Just didn't let him hit the ball. But Brian Hayes got three walks today. They didn't let him hit the bat, or didn't let him swing the bat because they just walked him. He had good eye all day. Fight in center field. Guy lost his shoe. Proposals. Weird triples. It was an entertaining game. There was runs scored. They came back again. The over didn't hit, but the Pirates did win. So, that's the important thing. I want to see 65 wins. I know the overs thing is the buck and over and all that. It's very exciting. But Pirates winning, that's what's important. Head in the game. Focus on the prize. 65 wins. We got 6. Tomorrow, game 2, Pirates and Cubs, 2:20. It's weird seeing Wrigley Field at night. I definitely like Wrigley Field during the day a little bit more. But the Pirates and Cubs both 6 and 7, 2:20. We have Quintana, who had a good first start. Didn't get the victory, but very solid first start against Drew Smyly, who has yet to give up a run. Earlier in the season, you may have mentioned, or you might have listened and heard the stat on gambling, bad teams winning 2 in a row. Pirates won today. They are currently at plus 138. They won the first one. You don't think they can win 2 in a row with Quintana in that ballpark he's familiar with? I think personally, this is not gambling advice. Personally, I'm going to take that plus 138. And I will be taking the over, as I do every game, because this is, after all, the buck and over. Very looking forward to that. I will be working. I think I start work at 4, so I'll probably miss a couple innings. Turn it on as soon as I get there. Yesterday I said they need to split against the struggling Cubs. 1 win today marches towards that. Yeah, baseball's great. It's a fun game. There's things that happen that don't, regularly happen. It makes it entertaining. Runs, batted balls. It's not just about the long ball, though that does help. Daniel Vogelback does help to have some long balls. That was fun. Let's do it again tomorrow. Enjoying the Buck and Over content? Be sure to follow me over at Twitter at Buck and Over, TikTok at The Buck and Over, and on YouTube, The Buck and Over. Follow along with your buckos all year long.